Good morning, students. Today, again, we'll continue with the exogenetic process. Last time we had seen the mechanical and physical weathering. Okay, this time we'll continue with the exogenetic process. Now, here we are dealing with chemical weathering. Okay, so what is chemical weathering? The name itself suggests it. Okay, now last time also I told you how water is an important agent in weathering. So here also in chemical weathering also water plays a very important role because it's a universal solvent. It can dissolve anything in it. So many things get dissolved in it. So in areas that receive very heavy rainfall, chemical weathering is very prominent in that particular place. So we'll see how. The first part of it is carbonation. The word carbonation itself suggests that it has got carbon dioxide present in it. That means when water reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms carbonic acid. Okay, and that is how it leads to chemical weathering. There is a chemical reaction taking place, students. When carbon dioxide in the atmosphere dissolves in the droplets of water, it creates carbonic acid. Now this carbonic acid reacts with certain rocks and minerals like limestone, marble, chalk and all. So that leads to a chemical reaction, and that is why we have a chemical weathering here, and that is because of carbonation. Carbonation, as I told you, it is water plus carbon dioxide which makes carbonic acid, that is H2O plus CO2, which makes it H2CO3, that is carbonic acid. And when this carbonic acid reacts with the rocks which are present inside the minerals which are present inside the rocks, for example limestone, marble and all, these are all soft rocks, students, sedimentary rocks. So as a result of that, see, carbonization, it affects mainly mostly in the soft rocks very fast. So this whole process is what we call as carbonation, which leads to chemical weathering. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, the next one, why chemical weathering takes place is because of solution. Now solution, we know how, what is a solution. We put sugar in water or salt in water, we mix it, we make either a sugar solution or a salt solution. In the same manner, some minerals in the rock gets dissolved in water. Okay, now that leads to, so mostly this happens in limestone. That is a chemical precipitation between water and alkalis. That is mostly the rainwater. Rainwater is alkaline in nature, and when that alkaline water which comes in contact with the limestone, which is a soft rock, certain chemical reaction takes place, and that leads to the chemical weathering. Okay. Now here they have given, in your textbook they have given this one pic. Actually it is of Vadgaon Darya, which is in Ahmednagar district. This is an example, students, of how because of this chemical weathering this kind of caves have been formed. You can see the rocks over here, the rock here. See the way it is eroded, the way it is actually not eroded, it is dissolved. It is dissolved. So these kind of caves we can see in Vadgaon Darya, which is in Ahmednagar district. It is a clear example of how chemical weathering takes place because of solution. Okay, the next one is oxidation. Now carbonation we had seen, it is when carbon dioxide mixes with water. In oxidation, it is oxygen when it reacts with water and iron which is present in the rocks. Okay, so you all have seen in the textbook also they have given us an example as to take a nail and soak it in water and wound it with a white cloth, and after some days when you open it you can find red color over the white cloth. Now that is because of iron oxide or ferrous oxide. ferrous oxide is red in color. Okay, how does this red color comes? It is when oxygen reacts with the mineral iron, it gives rise to iron oxide, and iron oxide is normally we call it as rust. Okay, oxygen causes oxidation of the metals, that is rusting. And you can see here, you can see it all appears, these rocks all appear as red in color. Now the reason for it is because of oxidation. Okay, so oxidation occurs when rocks containing metals are combined with oxygen to form rust. So here also water plays an important role. For the reaction to take place with oxygen and the mineral, that is iron, there should be water present. Only then the rust can occur. You can see here all in between, wherever there is ferrous oxide present, you will find the red color. So see, these kinds, this is actually chemical weathering, because chemical reaction has taken place. But at the same time, this chemical weathering can also lead to physical weathering. How? Because wherever there it is rust, you can see this red color, from that place it will start breaking off. So when it breaks off, we know that it is called physical weathering. So chemical weathering can also lead to physical weathering. Now this is because of oxidation, or when oxygen reacts with the minerals plus water, we have oxidation taking place, which leads to chemical weathering. The next is, so there we completed with the chemical weathering. Next part of it is, the last part of it is biological weathering. Now what is biological weathering? Biology itself means plants and animals. So when something related to plants and animals create weathering, we call it as biological weathering. For example, you can just have a look at this picture over here. It's the roots of trees. Now this roots of trees has actually gone inside this structure. It's a cave. It's a cave. Okay, you might also find this kind of thing on your buildings, some buildings wherever water is there. See, here also water plays an important role. Where water is there, the roots of these trees, they actually go in search of water, and it goes deeper and deeper, and when it goes deeper inside in search of water, it actually widens the rock, creating weathering, or which leads to weathering. So weathering, that means roots of the trees are also one of the reason which leads to biological weathering. There are also another way, right? As I told you, biology includes animals, plants and animals. So there are certain burrowing animals also which leads to biological weathering. Animals like rats and mice, rabbits, okay? We have earthworms, we have ants. So all these are called as burrowing animals. Why burrowing animals? Because they burrow inside the rock or soil, and they make they create a hole in that. So that is also, that is what is happening, the inside part of it, they are trying to throw it outside. Whatever is inside the earth, they are trying to throw it outside by burrowing. So this is happening because of these animals, rats and mice, rabbits, because rabbits burrow into the soil and make a cave for themselves so that they can go and stay inside there. Same thing with rats also. Earthworms are called as friends of farmers. Why? Because they actually help in the plowing of the field. So the earthworms are called the friends of farmers. Actually, it is a biological weathering that is take place. Ants also, you must have seen in your own houses. You must have, in corners of some corners of your house, you might find ants. You can find there are certain small particles of sand coming out from corners. How? That is because of the ants have burrowed inside. Now that is also an example of biological weathering. So biological weathering can be caused by burrowing animals like rats and mice, rabbits and earthworms, and also insects like ants. Okay, now apart from that, we also have another thing called moss and lichen. Okay, lichen, you must, during rainy season especially, you'll find that there are certain green colored algae or lichen that is formed on certain surfaces. Okay, and when you actually walk on that, you might slip also over it. That is, some are light green in color, some are dark green in color. Okay, so that is algae and moss. Now here I have a pic of it, the algae and moss. You will find it in your own surroundings. So these are all part of biological weathering, because these things, these lichen and algae or moss, they also are forming something over the, maybe over the bark of a tree, or maybe over some cemented place, and which might, again the roots of this might try to go inside and create biological weathering. So these are all part of biological weathering. So I suppose we have completed with the weathering part. I had explained to you what is physical weathering or mechanical weathering, what are the types of physical and mechanical weathering. Then today we learned about chemical weathering. One was the carbonation, then solution, oxidation, okay, and next is biological weathering. The last part is biological weathering. I hope students you all have understood whatever was explained over here. Okay, so please do go through your textbook so that you can have a thorough understanding of whatever was explained through. Thank you, students.